Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I thought today I would give you a last update on how I've been doing with my summer language goals, because I'm leaving for England in about a week to study there, so I won't have much time anymore, I think, to really work on my goals. I think this week I might just do a little bit of Duolingo and I might continue the workbook that I started, but apart from that I don't think I'll be doing anything. So yeah, I thought I would just make my last video for the summer now. So yeah, this was my list of goals I made at the beginning of this summer, and it was a lot, and already knew that there was a big chance that I wouldn't be able to finish it all, but maybe I would, and I didn't manage to finish all of these, but I am still happy with what I did, because I know I've also been doing lots of other things during this summer, and a lot the stuff had to do with like arranging things for studying abroad, and I went on a trip and I did stuff with my friends. So yeah, it was just kind of busy sometimes, and I don't know, I'm happy with what I did. I could have done more maybe, but I don't know, I'm okay with what I did. So like the first bunch of goals that I made were my Duolingo goals, and I wanted to finish the German tree, and this has definitely not happened, but it was also not very realistic. When I made this list I hadn't really looked at the German tree in a while, and I hadn't realised how long it is compared to like other languages, because the Swedish tree and the Japanese tree are much shorter, I think. So I was just kind of thinking along those lines, but yeah, it's very long, and I just didn't feel like rushing through it would really help me remember everything I learned. So I decided already a while ago that I wouldn't actually attempt to finish the whole tree, so I don't really mind, honestly. My next goal was to get to level 15 in Japanese, and this one I did manage, already got there a while ago. I mentioned it in a previous video, I think. My next goal was to get my Italian to level 13 on Duolingo, and this definitely did not happen. I haven't done any Italian at all this summer, but like towards more of the end of the summer I really started to realise like that it probably wouldn't be very effective if I would start it now. Like I would just be doing it to finish the goal but not really do it because I would actually learn something, because like if I work through several levels in a few days I'm just not going to remember as much from it, so I just figured that it wouldn't really be beneficial. My next goal was to get my French to level 10, and this one I did manage, and I also wanted to get Russian and Danish to level 10, and I got Russian to level 8, but it's also just not really a language that I can really do very quickly. I just need a lot of repetition, and especially with the alphabet I just need to revise that all the time. So yeah, it's just not something I can do very quickly. And with Danish I think I could have done it much more quickly, but I didn't do any Danish at all this summer. I do really want to get back to Danish because I've been very interested lately again in Germanic languages. Like I've always been interested in those, but I also really would like to learn Norwegian and Danish, because recently I also found some books at a second-hand store. I think they are Danish, at least someone mentioned they might be Danish, because I wasn't actually sure. I was like, I can sort of read this text but I don't know what language it is. But yeah, I would really like to read those books, so I would like to definitely at some point improve my Danish and also start learning Norwegian. But I'm also always scared that I'll mix them up with Swedish, but I think at this point maybe I should be fine, I don't know. My next set of goals was to read books in foreign languages. I wanted to read a Swedish book, and I did do this. I read Mio min Mio by Astrid Lindgren, which is a children's book. It's kind of fantasy like, it's very much like a fairy tale. It was really nice, and it was an easy read, it was enjoyable, and I made a video about it, which was also one of my goals, to make a Swedish video, and I made a Swedish video about that book. I also wanted to read a French book, which I also did At least I crossed it off. I can't even remember what I read, honestly. It probably wasn't a very long book. I can't remember right now. I also wanted to read a German book, but this one I didn't finish. I did buy a German magazine and I read a bit in that magazine, but I didn't really read a book this summer. But hopefully sometime soon, I don't know. Then my next goals were related to my workbooks, and yeah, I also didn't do very well on this part. I wanted to finish Japanese from 02, and I think I did like 2 or 3 chapters at most, not a lot. So yeah, definitely didn't manage to do that one. And my next goal was to get to chapter 10 in my Swedish textbook, and I also didn't manage to do this one. I think I opened my Swedish textbook once and I'm not sure if I really did a lot in it. And the last one for workbooks was to start German Tutor, my German workbook, and I actually started this a few days ago, so quite late, but I just finally sort of felt ready to start it. And I don't know, so far, like, I enjoyed working it, but I think some of the explanations are very weird, so I'm gonna have to continue to really see how I truly feel about the book. But so far it's a bit odd. I don't know, I'm not sure if this is really the best way for me to learn new stuff. Like, it has some good exercises maybe, but that's about it I think so far, but I'm not very far in, so I can't really say for sure. Then I wanted to watch some stuff in foreign languages. I wanted to watch 5 episodes of a show in Swedish, and I did manage to do this over the last few weeks. I watched several shows in the Swedish. I've mostly watched episodes of like the Swedish version of First Dates, which I think is actually really good for like a language learner, because people are constantly like introducing themselves, so it's like very basic like conversations, like the kind of stuff that you learn when you just start out learning a language. So that was, and it was also just really fun, honestly. And I also wanted to watch a French movie, and I watched The Untouchables, I think it's called in English. It's one of my favourite movies, and this time I just watched it without subtitles. I also wanted to watch a German movie, didn't do this one. I wanted to watch anime, and I definitely watched a lot of anime, and we also watched another Japanese show which was on Netflix. I think it was something called like The Love Wagon or something. Ainori. I don't remember the exact name, but it was actually a lot of fun. I feel like if it's one of those shows that if it would be a Dutch show, I probably wouldn't like it, because people would be mean and like just not very nice to each other, but because these people were also polite, I don't know, it was just a really nice show. And I watched quite a few episodes of that, and it was just really nice to realise that I actually recognise quite a few of Japanese words. Like, I cannot understand like full sentences or anything, but I can understand at least some words, and that's already kind of encouraging, because I don't know, I'm not like expecting a lot from my Japanese anytime soon. To practice my speaking, I wanted to make a video in Swedish, German and another language, and I made a very short video in German and I made a video in Swedish, as I said before, about the book Mio min Mio. I didn't make a video in another language. Then lastly, I had a bunch of random goals. I wanted to learn the Armenian script, the Georgian script, the Cyrillic alphabets, 10 basic sentences in Armenian and 10 basic sentences in Georgian, and I accomplished all of those, but those were also things that like I would really need to revise if I actually want to remember those. Like, I remember the Cyrillic alphabet, but Georgian and Armenian, I've already lost so much of it. Since my holiday, I could probably recognise a few characters, but that's about it. I just need to repeat it many more times before I would actually like remember it for the long term, and right now it's just not really a priority because it's not a language that I'm going to use anytime soon. So it was fun to do, but like in the end it was not super useful probably. And then my last two goals were to finish Japanese from 0-1, the vocabulary from the book on Memrise, and I didn't quite finish it, but I did get quite far in. I've almost finished it, I think. I just need like 50 more words or something, so I should be able to finish it soon. And my last goal was to write in my language journal, and didn't really do that, but I have written just like stuff in other languages just on random places like Instagram, or just for myself on loose scraps of paper. So I didn't technically write in my language journal, but I still wrote in some of my target languages, so it's sort of accomplished, I guess. So this was what I did over the summer. For the next few months I'm not really expecting to do like a ton of studying because I'm going to England, and like I can't really bring that much stuff with me, so I'm not going to bring my language learning books. Like I might study on Duolingo and like online, I might use online resources, but apart from that I don't think I'll be studying much. I do want to do an intermediate Swedish course because at the university I'm going to, there is a Scandinavian studies department which is really cool, and I already emailed them and I would be able to participate in the intermediate Swedish course, which would be a lot of fun. I just need to get approval from like the English department, but hopefully that is fine, and then I can study Swedish at university, which I think would be probably really cool. They also have so many other courses that sounded so interesting, and I probably would need another year to do all the courses that I wanted to do, but yeah, I just have 1 year, so hopefully I can do intermediate Swedish. I would love to hear from you how you've been doing this summer with your language goals, or if you had any other goals and if you managed to accomplish them or not, and maybe I'll see you in my next video. Bye!